So I've saved the photovoltaic project as Visitor Center Site, a new name so that we could start building our site on this project using the same building. And I've stripped out a lot of the things from the photovoltaics. I got rid of the drawings and the renderings and other elements that I've had. And I'm on the site level because that's where we need to be to create topography. And I'm just going to hide some of these elements that we won't be using. They just make things a little busy. So we'll hide the grid lines, and we'll hide all of the elevation view lines. And now we have the building just by itself. And in order to create some kind of a terrain, we go to massing and site, and once we're here, this is a very tricky thing to pay attention to. When we draw this, we want our isobar site or iso lines to show up about the patterns we're creating. And we want to make a little bit of an adjustment. And later on, we're going to turn those off. But for now, I'm going to select that little arrow. Very important at massing and site, excuse me, that you notice that little arrow. It's kind of hard to see. And if you open it up, it'll say at intervals of 10 feet. And that's way too coarse for what we're doing. So I'm going to put in 1 foot and click OK with that. And now we're actually ready to click into Topo and Site, Toposurface, and start placing some points. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start up at the building. The building, if we were to go to the front elevation, which I might try to do here a minute. Let's go to the south elevation. You'll notice that the building is sitting, grade level is sitting at 0. And we want to be well below that with our top of grade. So I'm going to set the top of our grade to be -1 foot. So I'm going to go back to the site, and I'm going to place a point, and I want that elevation to be not 0 but -1. And we'll just make a little box around the building. So that's just an area that everything will be level around this structure. And you notice as I complete the grid off, it makes a square. And then we're going to try to create some kind of I'll put this building up in an elevation, so to speak, so water drains away from it. So we're going to be continually moving down as we move away from the building. So the next I'll start is elevation at 2 foot. And so that's a relatively generous slope. And we'll move to 3 feet. And what I'll do is I'll just add in a couple of more points now. And I could have done it on the other ones. And we'll move to 4 feet. And I'm anticipating we're going to put a parking lot down here. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit and create a little bit of a more generous area down here. Okay, so that's -4. We want to go to -5 now, and we're going to terminate or stop at -6. So once I'm going to walk around the building 2 more times. And the final one will be -6. Our final level. And you'll notice I'm always trying to not get into the other isobars. Revit just doesn't, this tool is not exactly a very powerful tool as far as allowing for some kind of complexities, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Okay, so now we have really completed off our surface for now. So I'll just hit the checkbox, and we'll kind of rotate this into a 3D view, and I need to create a new 3D view. So I'll just go to that and create it, and well, we won't hide the level lines now, but let's just take a look at what we've got. And it's a little bit hard to read. Let's see if I can come in really close here. And you can see we're talking about large distances, so 6 feet is relatively insignificant. Okay, so if we've completed it this far, the next thing I want to do is add a little pond in over here. So we're going to dig in a little bit deeper for this area here. So we want to construct kind of a divot or a place for water to accumulate. So I'll pick that up in the next video, and we'll look at creating that structure and then adding some water to it.